What, get stalked?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure this ain't the first time you've been stalking, y'all.
Yo, what up, AJ?
What's good, bro?
Ain't nothing, man. Ain't nothing at all. Hold on one second. To get it straight, get it straight. We can go live. We about to do it. Yo, yo, yo. What's up? What's up? Can you hear me, AJ?
Yo, what's up, my boy? How you doing today, man?
Good. Hey, baby, why don't you go grab my microphones, headphones, because I know I'm outside, so I know that them bugs might, be in the background. You know, we're out there in Florida at night, and them bugs, they be going at it. What's
Oh,
good
oh,
with
you on the patio tonight?
you? Yeah, man. I got all the family in town. I got my
Oh,
granddaughter
yes,
in
that's
there.
true.
I got a lot of people up in here, so I need to come to the patio. My wife came on. I guess she's sitting out here on the patio with me. I guess she wanted to explain cover two.
No, I
So
So
didn't
you
cover two. I
yeah,
look
I
on
you
my
had
remember.
to you had to play daddy daycare today.
Oh yeah, man. I was daddy daycare the whole time. I mean, it wasn't bad, man. Granddaughter had some sense. I had a lot of fun with her. Kids. It's definitely not the same when you're a grandparent. You don't have the same energy. That you have kids have a little bit more. She got a little bit more energy for me. She was definitely going at it. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah. I mean, she 2 years old, so that's
Yeah, yeah. She
to
was
be expected.
she was ripping and running, man. It was hectic, like I say, but I had a lot of fun, doing with that anyway. No, they can't see you, sweetheart. But anyway, all right, well, go ahead, AJ. Look up,
Yeah,
please.
I'm sorry.
Get- get- get-
Hey there.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, man. So with that being said, man, we got an interesting week. I wanted to make sure that we at least get a couple of things out the way. Start off every day. Welcome to Football Chop Up. Myself, AG Wasim, with my partner in crime, AJ Brooks. Uh, on the screen below, you should see the YouTube channel. Please go like, subscribe. We're trying to get to as many subscribers as we can before we release the top 100 athletes, senior athletes. We'll release as well. We had the top 30 juniors, which we juniors to be, and we had the top 20 sophomores. But we're holding back on those seniors until we get them out there. So, yeah, light skin in the building. This dude here, man, that's Ryan Nolan. That's light skin, man. But you don't
Nice
understand,
skin.
man. We not calling nobody light skin, bro. That's against the bro code. So we can't do that, man. Even though for those who don't know, Ryan Nolan is white skin. He's not really light skin. So for those who don't know, but anyway, a real good brother. Uh, if you need any type of apparel sponsorships, apparel not sponsorship, if you need apparel, make sure you holler at him. I'm talking. I said sponsorships on
Oh,
our
I know
end.
it's on your
Yeah,
mind now.
yeah. Sponsorships, man. We need as many sponsorships as we can. We really want to be able to provide live shows at our games of the week, which we will. Have we finished the games of the week? Do we want to release them tonight, or you want to wait?
Nah,
Because we're gonna
nah,
probably have
nah,
to do it.
not
Well, let's
yet.
do our games of the week when we do the top 10.
Right,
So
right,
we could
right.
we could talk about them at the same time. So that'll be perfect. So so we really want to thank everybody for coming out. Like I said, sponsorships is something that we're looking for. If you if you want know some sponsors, either get with us either Facebook Messenger, Twitter, email. Info at elite100prospects at gmail.com. If you have Twitter, you have Facebook, you can meet us in any of those things. Uh, and then before we get, because we got a lot to cover tonight, we're gonna be talking. We're gonna be covering what regions from four metro all the way to what is it two metro,
New
two suburban,
Metro. I mean,
two
it's
suburban. Yeah,
too suburban, yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to be covering a lot of them. We're going to be talking about, the teams in each region, uh, and we're going to get that started in just a second. But also, we have a commitment alert coming up on August 4th. We have Josh, uh, Big Josh Alexander. He's going to be committed at Edgewater High School. I think his Final Four was Georgia. I know it was Georgia Tech, North Carolina uh, State. It was
NC
somebody
State,
else, and I can't remember.
uh,
NC
uh,
State, Pitt,
Pitt,
Georgia Tech,
was Maryland,
Maryland,
Maryland.
Maryland.
Yeah.
Yep, that's who it was. So, shout out to Big Josh Edgewater. Had quite a few commitments. Okay, let's see. See, look at this, agent.
What we got?
He said he'll send him the logo, and he'll make us some sideline pullover zip shirts to wear on the sidelines this season. We appreciate
Hey,
that,
hey.
AJ. Hey man, AJ, I got his email. I'll send it to you so you can send over there to him. But hey, with that being said, let's get on with the thing that we know everybody wants to come to. Cover regions. AJ, explain the regions that we cover, and then let's start from the lowest classification going up to the highest.
All right, so we cover Orange County, Osceola County, Brevard County, Seminole County, Volusia County, and Lake County. So within those counties, we'll go over each region, each district that the schools play in. There are some unique districts that only two of the four schools in that district we cover. There aren't many district like such, but we'll still touch base on those districts because those schools that we do cover are in those districts.
Which makes sense. So, who's the do we before we get started? Let's make sure let's talk about some of the independents because some of them aren't necessarily in FHA. We got like Mondora Christian Academy. I know there's one I can think of off the rip. They have had a successful season the last 2 to 3 years. They lost in the championship, 2 years in a row or something like that.
Yeah, or did yep. 2 years in a
Yeah,
row.
yeah. So, you know, I know they had a couple of guys that left the program and are going, so they're kind of rebuilding. But uh, you know,
The
who
one
else?
independent school this year for me is man, I'm going Ponciana. Ponciana is
Uh,
independent. Last year they went 8-2.
Ponciana's independent. You sure
Yeah,
Ponciana?
Ponciana. Yep.
Why? It's a Ponciana High School?
Yeah, they like there's
Wow.
no playoffs. They like last year they went 8-2. That's it. That's the end of the
Ponciana
season.
used to be a public school.
They used to be, but 2 years ago, speaking with their coach at Media Day, 2 years ago they made the decision to go independent because they needed to rebuild and they wanted to pick their own schedule. So obviously the opponents that they play have a lot to do with that. But they were very successful last year, eight and
They,
two.
they said they didn't want to face that Osceola grind, man. Hey, man, Osceola running people down. Hey,
Yeah, but
hey,
but
wait,
realistically now, I think they could compete with the St. Cloud,
man, hey,
but
man,
yeah, but
hey, hey, man. I wish EP was on here right now.
they
EP,
said
y'all running jokers out of public school leagues. Hey,
they said
man,
keep me out of there.
hey, hey, man, I'm the wrong one for that kind of. Hey, man, when people start running from you and they go to a public school league, hey, man, let me stop. Hey, shout out to Ponciana, man. Hopefully, y'all boys, come back to the big boy leagues again. Any, anyone else any other interesting ones you have? We can touch on Lake Highland. Uh, it's gonna be tough for them because they lost so much. I mean, they lost
Yes,
half their team that got distributed all around the city. So it'll be interesting to see,
they're
how they'll do and what they do. We'll definitely be able to see if Coach Bullock, can definitely pull together because they had a good schedule coming up this year. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
that's just gonna be tough. I don't care if Nick Saban was the coach. You can have the X's and O's, but you got to have Jimmys and Joes. And right now they lost a lot of their Jimmys and they lost all their Joes for sure.
Yeah, Ryan, we've been having that conversation in the meeting. I think that uh, that's definitely we're talking about adding basically them in Polk County to the regions that we cover.
Yeah.
Uh, but before we can do that, we got to get a few more people that we can trust as scouts. Or whatever. So if you know anybody in the area that'd be willing to go out and scout the teams and not really with a bias, like just really like truly scout those guys, let us know. All right, and that's what we were talking about. What county is Gainesville and Gainesville, Marion, and all the
Marion
and,
and
yeah, all those counties. I
we
get
would do Marion and
no,
Sumter.
Lucha, yeah,
We'll do Sumter.
all
Because Sumter only has Wildwood and South Sumter. So
yeah.
we can do that, and then Marion.
We could,
Then
yeah,
on
we could
side,
easily do we could easily do South something and those guys. We do have some people that we know can scout, but that's definitely something that we'll definitely need to do. All right, so now, man, I think we covered all the independent. Uh, is there any other one that you can think of
nope, that's it. Obviously,
besides school like West Oak? Shout out to Coach Floyd,
shout out to
who's
Coach Floyd.
won 3 years in a row and his 2 years in a row and lost last year in the championship. So shout out to Coach. All right, let's see here. Those are the counties he's talking about when he says North Central Florida. Uh, all right, so AJ, let's go. What we got? Do we have anybody in one rule?
Nope. Let's go ahead and go skip to
Two, I think. Two suburban, right?
2S. Yeah, two
Yeah.
suburban, District 8. We have Atlantic, Crescent City, Lake Weir, and Taylor. Um, I think Atlantic will win that district. Um, Crescent City won it last year, if I'm not mistaken. They went to the playoffs, lost in the first round. Atlantic did not. So that tells me Crescent City won that district. But I think this year is a good year for the Atlantic to step up and take care of that district there.
Yeah, as we both know, um, you know, it's a little farther out for us. They have a lot of they have some talent for certain. Just it's not. They have some other guys that are a little bit more prominent in that county, and we'll talk about those guys later. Um, but yeah, I'm with AJ. I support that they should hopefully win, but I don't know. Crescent City was pretty decent, so I don't know what they have coming back. So that's going to be interesting. All right, who we got next up?
Next up, we have 2S, District 10. We're looking at Eustis, Mount Dora, Umatilla, and the Villages. Eustis won the district last year. And they went to the playoffs, lost in the first round. I think Eustis will. I want to go with Eustis, but something telling me Umatilla is going to be a tough out this year. But I'm gonna go with Eustis to win that district.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna go with Houston to win that district. I mean, I think that I think they will. I think Frank has had a little momentum. Uh, he lost arguably his best player last year, and still was able to rally his team. A lot of those same kids are back, so I would expect Houston to do well over Umatilla. Umatilla I know has a new coach, but I just think Houston should pull it out.
They're arguably.
Yeah, I think Houston should pull it out. All right, who we got next up?
Next up, we have 2S District 12, looking at Astronaut, Cocoa, Palm Bay, and Titusville. Obvious answer and winner for me in that district is going to be Cocoa. They went 11-3 last year, won the state championship. They do a good job of loading up on their schedule. Out of district, and those are the three losses that you've seen. Last year, they lost to Jones, Seminole, and St. Thomas Aquinas.
Thomas,
So
right.
it
Yeah,
gets them ready for their district play and all of that kind of stuff.
it gets them ready really to go to state in that in 2S. It really does. So like once again, I can definitely say I agree with AJ on that one. Even though astronaut, and those programs, it seems like across the board, Brevard County is getting better, a little bit more competitive every year. But just Cocoa is going to have a little too much for all of them.
I agree, man.
Who we got next?
Next up, we got 2M, District 4. That's Bishop Moore, Lake Buena Vista, and Lake Highland Prep. Bishop Moore was 8-4 last year. Lake Buena Vista 1-9. Lake Highland Prep 10-0 in their league. They won this championship. But I think that Bishop Moore is going to be easy, clear cut winner in this district. They'll go to the playoffs and we'll see what they do.
And big shout, Ryan just made a valid point. Coco, they had a weak district. A big shout out to Coco's head coach as well as Osceola's head coach. They know their district is weak, so they go out and they play some bangers.
They load up.
Like they load up on the front end so that their players will be ready when the season comes. This is pretty much a no brainer for me. I'm gonna go with Bishop Moore for certain to win that district. Uh, you know, it's a weak district, especially with Lake Highland, losing so much. Uh, so I expect those guys to do a very good job, and AJ's alma mater to break down and definitely be district champs.
Yes, sir. Moving right along. Let me make sure I don't miss nobody though. Moving right along. Let's go to. Let's go to 3. Now we in 3. Let's go to 3 suburban. We'll start with 3 suburban, District 5. We're looking at Bellevue, Leesburg, Tavares, and Vanguard. We only cover 2 of the 4 teams in that district, Leesburg and Tavares. But I believe
We know
Vanguard.
Vanguard.
Yeah, I believe Vanguard will win that district. Dominant team in Marion County, premier team in Marion County for some time. I think Vanguard wins that district. Leesburg is they're up and coming. We don't know what we're gonna get out of Leesburg. It's a lot of hype surrounding Leesburg, so we'll see tons of transfers in, new coaching staff. So it's interesting to see if Leesburg can challenge Vanguard, but I think Vanguard wins next year for sure.
Yeah, Vanguard will win the district. Coach Farmer and those guys have done a tremendous job coaching those kids. They have arguably, some of the top players. I can assure you, they'll have the top player on the field when they do play. Against most people, they get like the
And
best guys.
talking about Fred, yesterday he just committed to South Florida.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, Fred is a hell of a player. So. The biggest thing is, and he just said this, and I'm gonna just say this. Uh, my big thing, and I'll just be honest, is when you start talking about a coaching staff, like if you say that about Coach Darlington, I get it because he's won. Leesburg's coaching staff, they're good guys and all that, but they have never won like that. So I can't just automatically be like, oh, these guys are gonna go out here and tear it up. And I wish them the best for certain, but that'd be highly disrespectful to a guy like Coach Farmer,
Coach
who's
Farmer. Yeah.
been putting it in, for years at Vanguard, the whole time. I mean, he's been there forever and been putting good teams out, and had All Americans almost every year that he's been there. So I expect him to do his thing once again. Hopefully the guys at Leesburg can pull it through, because Leesburg at one point used to be a really quality team, especially in Lake County. They used to run Lake County. So hopefully they can do something to get it back over there. All right, who we got next?
I think Leesburg will be a challenger, but I think it'll take a year or two. I don't think they beat Vanguard year 1.
Yeah, I know.
Year 2 or
Yeah,
3, I could see them challenging for sure.
well, we'll definitely see. That's for certain. Who else? What do we got up next?
Next up we have 3. Let's go with 3S District 8. We're looking at Auburndale, Davenport, Gateway, Lake Region, Lake Wales, and Liberty. Of the 6 schools in that district, we only cover 2, which is Gateway and Liberty. But for me, Lake Wales won the district, went undefeated, won the state championship. They lost a lot of players to other Polk County schools, whether it be Lakeland or Bartow or Fort Meade. Those are the 3 schools right now in Polk County that are really like gonna be very,
Loading up.
very
Right.
yeah. But I think Lake Wales still wins that district. So I like Lake Wales.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I'm pretty sure that Lake Wales will win that district as well. It's not one of the stronger districts, but you never know. In those kind of districts like that, anybody can pull a rabbit out the hat. It was somebody you named in that district though that I think
I
might be
mean,
decent.
really, it's only team I could see challenging Lake Wells is Arbondale, and
Auburndale, that's what I was thinking. Yeah,
that's pretty much
Auburndale. They always keep some athletes over there. If they're kind of like the Evans of Polk County. If they keep their players home, they gonna be okay. So
right.
yeah, but yeah, man, I definitely agree with you. I'm not gonna go against Lake Wells. Shout out to their head coach who did a tremendous job last year in winning state.
Bars Johnson. All right,
Yep.
cool. Let's go. 3S District 9. We got Deltona, Mainland, Pine Ridge, and Seabreeze. Deltona was a very good team last year. I think they went 7-3, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm definitely rolling with Mainland. Mainland lost in the state championship last year.
To Lake Wells, wasn't it?
Two Lake Wells by 2 points.
Yeah.
So that shows you the talent that Lake Wells had last year. But yeah, I think Mainland wins this district. Seabreeze has a new coach, Coach Davis, that left Mainland, and I think he'll go to Seabreeze and install a lot of those qualities that he got from Mainland, being a former player and coach. But I definitely like Mainland to win District 9, 3S.
Oh man, we definitely got Mainland. We definitely got Mainland winning that district. I think there's, like you said, I know my boy do his thing over at Daytona Sea Breeze, and we old enough to remember a time when Daytona Sea Breeze was, one of the premier programs in the state. Uh, so we'd love to see them get that back, because to me, one of the nicest matchups when I first got down was Sea Breeze versus Mainland. That was always, a very good matchup. So, but like you said about Leesburg, let's give them 2 or 3 years because it won't be this year. But
Right, right.
shout out to them boys. Hopefully, hopefully
Talk
they'll
about
do that.
Sea Breeze. That bringing up nightmares, man. Sea Breeze,
Oh yeah, I
Xavier
forgot
Lee,
you had to go against that guy. I forgot.
boy, Xavier Lee at quarterback. That guy was that man. That dude, that man. Please,
Yeah, he was ahead of his time for certain. He was that build a quarterback that back then. So he's ahead of his time, definitely.
man.
So
That man was
all right,
serious.
so who we got next up?
Next up, we looking at District 10, 3S District 10. We got Bayside, Ugali, Merritt Island, Rockledge, and Satellite. Um, I think it's a two-man district between Rockledge and Ugali. Ugali's strong, but last year they lost to Rockledge 35-0. So eh, I'm a little hesitant. I wanted to go for the big upset and say that they will win that district. I think two teams could possibly go to the playoffs in that district. But I think Rockledge will end up winning the district.
Yeah, man, I gotta lean back, man. My back hurting from rolling with my granddaughter all day. But uh, yeah, I'm definitely gonna give Rockledge the edge. I feel like T. Rome, should he's always had a quality defense, and my motto: defense wins championships, and at least keep you in the game. So I expect those guys to do that. But Ugali, they've been like pecking and pecking and pecking and pecking, and I think if there was ever gonna get them, this would be the year. If they was ever
Absolutely.
gonna get them, this would be the year. So we'll
Yeah.
know more once the season starts. I'm with you. I think two teams will make it out of that district, and I think those will be the two teams. But I would get a nod to give it to those guys at Rockledge. Uh, Travis said, let Les Davis know them crabs stink, and tell Les Davis he said it. I'm gonna make sure he knows that's what you said. So I'm gonna screenshot it and send it to him. But now, for those who don't know, that's his boy, that's his man. He,
That's his
he
boy.
giving him a hard time. So, I'm sure they gonna bet like some kind of steak dinner on it. And Travis, hey man, since you know you gonna get it, do me a favor, man. Do not have that man take you to no place like Fleming's, or have him take you to a Longhorn Steakhouse or something like that. Yeah. So who we got next up?
Next up, you said don't juice them. Next up, let's go to 3M District 2. Looking at East River, Lake Howell, Lyman, Oviedo, and Winter Springs. A district dominated by Oviedo, but Lyman was 7-3 last year. I believe Lyman will be the second place winner again this year. I like Oviedo to win that district. They were 10-2 last year, lost in the playoffs to Jones High School, a quality team. So I like Oviedo out of 3M District 2.
That's a hard one, man, because I don't know if my man Can't think of his name right now, but the head coach at Lima, he's a good coach. Used to be at Masters. If he gets some kids in there, man, he gets some of them.
Jones,
Some, yeah, Coach Jones, that's the name.
Mel
Uh,
Jones, yeah.
yeah, if Jamel get those kids from Seminole to come over, some of the kids that ain't playing, it could, hey man, it could change. I'm gonna go with Jamel, man. 7-3 is not bad for a first season. I'm assuming he did that mostly with younger guys because when a new coach comes in, he be playing them
It was
younger
his
guys.
second year. I think it was his second or
The
third.
second year,
Maybe
yeah,
the first year.
I'm gonna go with Jamel. Hey, Jamel,
I can see it though.
let's see what you do. I mean, even though I think Oviedo is nice, they got a great quarterback. My motto: if you got a good senior quarterback, man, he can really help you win. He's good for 1 or 2 games by himself. This is a toss up for me, but I'll go with Lime just so that me and AJ. That's one of those picks. Honestly, I'm going with just so we're not saying the same thing.
Yeah, I feel you though, but the quarterback position was the
Yeah,
reason why I gave Oviedo the nod.
yeah. They got to.
You
'Cause,
get out of
a
Jackson,
good a good quarterback in high school is always worth his weight in gold.
right?
Who we got up next?
Next up, we looking at. Ooh, man, this is a tough district for me. Three, three of the better teams that I like. We looking at 3M District 3: Edgewater, Horizon, Jones, and Wakava. So honestly, we talk about first year programs. Horizon, what
How you
Horizon
playing?
go like? 73.
Se- yeah, they went 7-3. They all their losses was to everybody in district.
Jones, Wakava. So
Yeah.
um, I think this is a district that I want to say 3 teams get in, but I'm not sure.
Oh no, last year 4 teams got in.
All four.
Yeah, Horizon got in
Yeah,
last year.
yeah, you're right. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
they a
and if
little deep.
Horizon do the same thing, if Horizon only lose to those 3 teams, they gonna make the playoffs.
Yeah, let me see Horizon out of conference schedule. See if it's winnable.
Yeah, they were 7-3. I think it's winnable. I don't think they didn't
Freedom,
have.
Lake Howell, Colonial,
Yeah,
Ponciana, New
yeah, it's
Smyrna
winnable.
Beach,
Right.
University. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's winnable.
they play all their district games week 7, 8, and 9. So
Yeah, it was all back because when they met, remember Horizon was like 7-0.
oh yeah,
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 yeah. Matter of fact, when they played, I think it was Edgewater. They was both undefeated.
yep, I do
Yeah,
remember
I
that.
think that. Yeah. So, but you know,
I
I'm
got
not picking up. They still number 4 in that region. Who you got at number
correct.
3?
Number 3. I just got some insider information about Wakava. Wakava's lost. They've lost some players, and there might be a couple question marks with the coaching staff. So, with that being said, I'm gonna go with Wakava at 3. Then we looking at
So hold on 1 second. So when you saying, well, I just want to make sure we're clear. If if they hadn't lost players, you was gonna make Wakava. They wouldn't have been 3.
if Wakava didn't lose the transfers that they lost this offseason, I was ready to put Wakava 2. I thought Wakava
So so you said
would
whoever this number 2 is, you'd have had them behind Wakava if Wakava didn't lose transfers.
and the question marks with the coaching staff. That's a
Which
lot
one?
to deal
Which one bothers you most? The question marks or the kids transferring?
with.
And my thing is, I'm not trying to be funny. I don't know what. Well, I do know. So let me be quiet.
I'm gonna go with
But
the question marks because it's so late in the game. But
well,
it's stuff.
Wakaba had a great summer. They were winning.
Yeah, they won all kind of
They winning.
7-on-7
They was winning
tournaments
college
at
7-on-7
USL.
tournaments.
Lost in the
I
championship at UCF.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about the transfer situation. I mean, the coach situation. I just don't see how Orange County or if there's an issue, it should have been resolved before now. You know, the football starts for these kids right now. So I
Now,
mean,
yeah, yesterday,
so
Monday.
it's unfair to the kids. Ultimately, one of my biggest things that I can't stand in life is we got to be fair to the kids. The kids, the kids ain't. It's not on the kids. We the adults. So that's one of the reasons why I left. Saad would have still been a Wakav if it had taken 3, 4 months to figure out who the head coach was going to be. So don't do the kids like that. So the kids shouldn't have to get a new coach and figure out his philosophy, because if that happens, hell, Horizon might win the game. But
True,
okay, so
very
but
true.
who you got now? Number two, number two in that district.
I'm gonna go Edgewater. I think Edgewater they lose obviously. Said at running back. They return a lot of players.
They
But
lose said they lose said in the quarterback Chase.
and
Uh,
Chase too.
uh,
My bad.
uh,
Don't let me
and
disrespect Chase
yeah,
because
Chase and said, for those who don't know, he's probably one of the most overrated running backs that I've ever seen in Central Florida. Uh, the young man, I just think, they just gave him a lot of stuff that he got. So,
they
I mean,
they just gave him all the ratings and everything. Even after
yeah,
5 games, he
yeah,
had 1,000 yards. They
yeah,
just giving him that.
nah, well, really, after 4 games, he had 1,000. Yeah, almost had
That's what I'm
1,000.
saying.
Like really, but sometimes they just give people stuff, man. And I tell Assad all the time. I say, man, you won Orlando Sentinel Player of the Year, and you can thank your boy Sid for getting hurt. Because
You can thank him.
If Sid don't get hurt, you don't win none of that. Because Sid, I want to say because I got he one of my kids, like he like, so I used to be like, man, if you get 20 yards, here's this first
Don't do
week.
that.
I pay you get 20 yards. I like, man. I started like being like, hey man, my money and mine will start going down because it was expected. But
Yeah.
I agree with you on number two, Edgewater. I think they it could go either way. It's all going to depend on the quarterback play. I think I personally think Mikey's ready. I just he looked good, but you never know how those shoulder separations, how kids come back from that. They got I think their defense is going to be a little better than it was before, so it's going to be real interesting. But I guess that means that number one, then you must got Joe High.
Yeah, I'm going with Jones, man. It's hard to pick against Jones right now in this era of football with Coach Elijah Williams at the helm. I think Jones wins this district, but I think Edgewater challenges him. Obviously, Edgewater beat him last year. Edgewater won the district last year. They had home
So
field advantage. Jones came back and
you know,
they
you know
got
my
all
rule.
that back in the
You know my
playoffs.
rule. My rule. I'm telling her, whoever win the district will probably lose in the playoffs to the same team. I just
Yeah,
just I mean, I've been saying that for years.
yeah, you have.
It just and it really ain't let me down. I mean, it's just it's hard to be the good team twice in high school.
It
Very
is.
hard, like because the other team is fired up and your guard is down because you beat them, so you just figure you can beat them, and the other team is like, nah, you got to get some. But I think that'll be I'm pretty sure that'll be one of our games of the week. And and also remember we had our media day. I meant to have this ready when we were talking, but Edgewater players straight up called out Jones.
Yeah,
They were
they
like, they wasn't
pulled
playing.
off.
And then they doubled down on the media day with Dan's team. So they doubled down like, hey, everybody can get it. So we'll see how that works, but they was like, hey, everybody can get it. So hey, we're gonna see. So Jones High, so we pretty much forecast a little bit. That don't know. We both agreed with that. So like I said, the only thing is gonna be interesting to see what happens at Wakava. Next up, we should be in what going into
Four.
four
Let's go to four
do
suburban.
we have anything in 3 Metro in Central Florida?
3 Metro.
That was them. Yeah, four
We just
suburban.
did the two.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
four
just did.
suburban.
Yeah. So for suburban, let's go with for suburban District 5. We're looking at D-Land, New Smyrna Beach, Spruce Creek, and University. I'm gonna go with D-Land to win this district. D-Land 6-5 last year, went to the playoffs, lost in the first round. But you're talking about year 2 of Coach Darlington, and D-Land will be the beneficiary of some key transfers from Deltona. When Coach Smothers got the job, he was the head coach at Deltona. When he got his new coaching job and left Deltona, the players they transferred. They didn't wait to see who was going to be the coach or nothing. They all transferred either to D-Land, Mainland. Those were the two beneficiaries, and I think that's going to help Mainland a lot. So I'm gonna take Mainland to win, or D-Land, excuse me, to win that district.
Yeah, I can't go against Coach Darlington. Like I said, he's a legend in the game. Even without the transfers, I wouldn't go against Coach Darlington. Uh, he took that D-Land team a lot further than most people would think. A lot of those guys coming back are going to be senior-led teams. And one thing about Coach Darlington, you don't want him to have a bunch of good seniors on his team. You don't.
No,
And he has a lot of good seniors in leadership position. He has, not only Ross and TJ, but he has his own son. So, I expect a lot out of him, and I think that they'll win that district very easily. Who else? Who's next
and
up?
no disrespect, I'll be a fool if I did not mention New Smyrna Beach, coached by Coach Wilkerson, who is a legend in his own
Another
right.
legend. Yeah, no
Yeah,
doubt.
so you talking two legendary coaches, so I don't want to disrespect New Smyrna. If there's any team that will challenge D-Land in that district, I believe it definitely will be New Smyrna Beach.
Yeah, those are both great coaches, to be honest. Who we got next up?
Next up, let's go to 4S District 10. We're looking at Celebration, Osceola, St. Cloud, and Toho. Um, This is a district that I think Osceola will win again. They won it last year. St. Cloud was 7-3, second in the district. But I like Osceola to win this district. No matter no matter what, I like Osceola for sure.
Yeah, if I still don't win the district, EP owe me. EP, if you don't win the district, man, you owe me a steak dinner. It's just that simple. And I'm gonna make you sure you take me to Flemings. We're gonna go to Oceanair. We're gonna go somewhere like that with you. But uh, but yeah, I feel it easy. I agree. So we definitely want to make sure that we, give a shout out to St. Cloud. They went 7-3 last year, and also Toho first year with Coach Paradiso. They did well as well, but Osceola win that district easily. Next one up.
Excuse me. Next up, let's go District 4. 4S District 11. We're looking at Harmony, Heritage, Melbourne, and Vieira. To me, this is an easy one. I think
Yeah,
Heritage is going
walk away
Heritage
from
is
it.
going to be good. They're going to walk away with this district. And besides Coco, I believe Heritage will be the second best team in Brevard County, ahead of Rockledge, ahead of anybody else you can think
Oh,
of.
that man
I
said
think
it had a
Heritage,
Rockledge. Ooh,
yeah, I'm telling you, Heritage got 19 transfers this offseason.
but
19. That's a whole nother team. And I'm talking
okay.
about they real dudes too, like real guys, like so
I'm gonna hold you if that's your real rationale. I'm gonna hold you to it in a second because there's another team that got a lot of transfers we're gonna talk about. But
absolutely
so my thing is, even if you have transfers in, you still got to know how to coach them
you
at the end of
do.
the day. So,
You do.
so so when you're a new team, I still need to see how you gel. On paper, you should, because on paper, West Orange should have won state 2 years ago. There's no reason by the time it's all said and done on that team, they'll have 20 guys that win Power Five, and Heritage does have some really key players. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see, because you can get the talent there, but can you use them? So it's gonna be really interesting to see how it shakes out. But I'm with you all the way. Heritage will run away with that district, and it won't even be close. It really won't. And I do agree with you. I think they are on paper. They're probably the second best team. Part of me wants to give Rockledge a nod because T. Rome has always done a pretty good job defensively, but I don't know if they'll be able to overcome what Heritage brings to the table. Who we got next up?
Next up, we got 4M District 3, Colonial, Haggerty, Timber Creek University, and Winter Park. This is a two-man district last year with Timber Creek knocking on the door, so to speak, at 5-5. Haggerty was 8-3. Winter Park 10-2. Winter Park lost some coaching. Obviously, the offensive coach is now the head coach at Leesburg. They went 10-2, made the playoffs. I like Winter Park to win that district again. Just a solid program. Um, yeah, so I'm gonna go with Winter Park.
Man, I'm not a big fan of Winter Park for a lot of reasons, but the reality of it is this: I think they lost a lot with the head coach, or with the coach, not head coach, but the offensive coordinator leaving. Uh, I'm not really sold, on a defensive coordinator personally, and really just watching him, what he's brought to the table. So I think that Timber Creek may have a little something, and Haggerty as well. So I'm gonna probably go with uh, you know the pettiness in me wants me to totally go against
I ain't gonna
Winter
lie,
Park.
I forgot about that, boy. But yeah,
Oh
hey,
yeah,
Winter I forgot
yeah,
about that, dog. Hey, man,
yeah, man.
yeah, my
I'm
pick
totally.
just because of that,
Yeah,
dog.
man, I'm totally anti, against Winter Park, and I'll tell, hey, man, I'm about to tell everybody what happened because I really don't give a shit. But the reality of it is, the assistant defensive coordinator in Winter Park, wrote a big old letter and gave it out to college coaches saying that my son was a punk. He's sorry. He's this and that. The kid is a crybaby. The daddy is this and that. And I'd never even met the dude. So my whole thing was, you know, of course I showed my son. He went out and proceeded to, win player of the week that week because that's how we roll. But then when I talked to the coach, he was a coward. He tried to hide behind it. This is what he heard, and I'm like, bruh. And he tried to say it was like his scouting report. I'm like, I've never known a scouting report ever to talk about a damn parent. We all been
Right.
around coaching. It don't really work like that. So obviously it was information he was being fed by West Orange High School because we left them and we whooped their ass too. So like I tell people, and I would tell anybody out there, one
Well,
thing about God, he will truly make your enemies your footstools. And with all that being said, my son that being player of the year in the state of Florida, won't he do it? So yeah, I'm telling you now, I'm anti Winter Park, so I ain't even gonna fake the shit. So reality, I'm taking Timber Creek.
over Haggerty?
I taking Haggerty and Timber Creek. Shit, and who was the third team? So I'm taking them too. So it is what it.
You
And
know,
the sad part is the head coach in me was straight. I don't even put that on him because I know he didn't have nothing to do with that bullshit. The reality was, like dude gonna call me the assistant coach. He was upset because years ago when they had what's old boy name, the little DB. I know what's old
Manny.
boy name? Huh?
Manny.
Nah, Edwards. We call him by a little nickname, but he was real fast. Went to Illinois.
Oh, Snoop.
Yeah,
Snooks.
he got mad because Tennessee called and offered all the kids on our 707. When I called and talked to your boy that's at he's at UCF now, Coach Darren Himshaw, I sent him the list of kids. They offered what they wanted. They didn't offer Snook. So this dude calls Himshaw, goes down a list like he's better than this guy, he's better than this guy, he's better than this guy. But I didn't. All I did was call him and say, man, that's some whole ass shit. Let the coaches offer who they want to offer. So when he got me on the phone, he was like, well, we met before. I'm like, nah, bro, you ain't met me because if you met me, you wouldn't do that bullshit with my son because I would fuck your ass up. Excuse my
Hey,
language,
man.
y'all.
Hey,
Yeah,
chill out,
but
man.
but
You
but
relax,
but
man.
but it's just like I said, man, don't get me started. Let's move on to the
Yeah,
next
I
one.
know. Let's not get
Yeah,
you started,
yeah,
but yeah, let's
yeah.
go ahead and skip that district there. But so yeah, you like Haggerty, and Timber Creek.
I like everybody in the whole district other than Winter Park.
I got
and
you.
and because he didn't know. Well, I will say this: the sad part is he didn't know that Andre Williams, Mark Pouncey, he didn't know that I helped them boys get in school. He didn't even know me because, like, I keep my stuff on the low. People don't know what I do. I don't brag about what I do, but his head coach know because that's why. And I tell people this is why I respect his head coach because they had a kid named Andre Williams, and Pouncey was going to Texas as a wide receiver, and this coach literally sent out an email to every coach in the country that stated, hey, I got a kid going to the University of Texas, and he's the second best wide receiver on my team. He's like my number because Andre got hurt, and I respect him for that because a lot of coaches wouldn't do nothing like that, and he was real helpful in helping us to get Andre to Akron because like quite frankly, Coach Bowden, because I had been pumping him, and when Coach Bowden saw that, he's like, "Ag, he must really be." I'm like, "Yeah, he's like that." So, like I said, I got number respect for him. So, nothing against him. I don't like the defensive coordinator at Winter Park. Period.
All right, cool. Let's go ahead and move on to the next 4M District 4. We're looking at Boone, Cypress Creek, Freedom, Lake Nona, and Oak Ridge. Man, last year Boone won this district. Cypress Creek did a great job with Doug Gabriel as head coach, but he's no longer there after 1 year. Um, I'm gonna go with, and then you got Lake Nona, people there. Then we got Oak Ridge. Um, I'm gonna go with Boone to win this district. I'm gonna go with Boone to be solid, win the district. Next, I'll go with Lake Nona, followed by Oak Ridge, Cypress Creek, then Freedom. Or the bottom two, you could toss them up, either Cypress Creek or Freedom. But I like Boone to win the district with Lake Nona coming in second.
Hey man, I'm not going against Coach Andy. Coach Andy is he's been winning for some time. I'm definitely not going against him. I know that this is probably a little. Uh, you hated to really say it because you got your boy Andrew Anderson
Personal,
over
yeah,
over
it's
his yeah,
personal.
it's, yeah
And
this
that
this I
go to
got.
show folks like Anderson, that's my ace, that's my dog. But and as a try to give a professional analysis on what I see, and I'm just be honest. I think he improves the program, but I'm not sure if they going 7-3 year one right out the gates. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I met a bet with somebody on Anderson. They said he was gonna go 73. I had to, so I took the bet that he wouldn't go 73. I love Anderson, but I think he has uh, a tremendous rebuilding program. I think that he has an opportunity if he keep those boys home and get transfers in. But Andy's like as solid as they come. He's been solid since he's been in Freedom. He's won everywhere he goes. He gonna play smash mouth football. They're gonna run the ball. They got probably one of the better running backs in the area. So
Yep.
it's hard for me to go against him. And Anderson, like you say, Anderson is my guy. I wish him nothing but the best, but I just don't think that he'll, and I'm like you. I can put a lot of my personal stuff aside except for the defensive coordinator that went apart. Like I can,
and 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 that Lake Nona too, your boy.
yeah, Aubrey, my dude. Aubrey, my
So
dude.
you know
But
what I'm saying?
I
Like
mean, and
this district is real personal for us.
yeah, Aubrey, my dude. Coach Aubrey is. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. He's the funnest coach yeah, for my money. He's the funnest coach in Central Florida. If you ever want to just have a good time, hang out with that fool. But and then they got Rod Rutherford over there, who's my main man on offense. And then they got the Emmanuel family, who Coach Charles is help sponsor kids and buy food and all that kind of stuff. And if it was just a personal pick, that's who I would pick. But I just can't go against Coach Andy because I've seen Andy do so much with so little. Seriously,
Yeah.
no matter what, I remember there were games when they were playing Edgewater and it was competitive. He's just always he's gonna be in the game. You just ain't gonna blow those guys out. So shout out to him. All right, so
Yeah.
who we got next?
Next up, I believe this is the last district, if I'm not mistaken.
No, 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 no. We got two more districts. You got a Popka district, and then you got Olympia and Dr. Phillips that district. So you got a
Oh
Popka,
yeah, yeah,
Seminole
yeah,
Lake
yeah.
Marietta.
Oh, I didn't do a popcorn. Oh, okay, so let's go to. I skipped the popcorn. Uh,
Yeah,
which one
let's
you
do
want to
that
do first?
district. Yeah, let's do that because we have let's go
So here we go. This is like the crazy. This is one of the most
two.
competitive districts as well.
Uh, yeah,
Um, 4M District 2. We looking at Apopka, Evans, Lake Brantley, Lake Mary, Seminole. Out of this district, 5-man team. 4 of these teams made the playoffs last year. Um,
it could have been five, but somebody I forgot who it was. I want to say it was somebody didn't do what they're supposed to do. But they that's a strong district, like because all they do is beat up on each other.
right. Um, man, who gonna win this district?
You got Seminole people watching. You got APK people watching. You damn sure got Lake Mary people watching. You have Evans people watching. I don't think we got Lake Bradley people watching. So, do you want to do
Going
this
with Lake
district like you
Brantley
did?
at 5. Lake Brantley at 5. Lake
Okay, Lake,
Brantley at
Lake Bradley at five. That's what we got. So next up, who gonna be four? Now, hey, for those who don't know, Carlos Odom is one of our good friends. Like I've known Carlos; he's as solid as they come. And once again, like I'm gonna put him at 4 out of that district, which says a lot because I love Carlos and I hope I'm wrong. I would love for him and the whole Evans family to be able to throw it up in my face. But I'm gonna put him at number 4 in that district this year.
You're gonna go Lake Brandy Evans. I'm
Who
gonna
you got it
go.
for?
I'm gonna go Lake Mary at 4.
Oh boy, my
You
boy,
ride
my
with my
boy.
dog, man. Hey, look,
Uh,
man.
hey
I
man, we
just
just
talked to
said
the
you
dog.
just said it wasn't personal. You just said it wasn't
Hey,
personal.
hey, but look, man. Since Anderson got the head coach job, he don't
I
even
would
be
answer.
calling me like that no more. Like he
Yeah,
done switched up on me. He's
I
still the
think.
homie, but Odom called
Wow.
Odom. I just talked to Odom an hour ago. My dog called. We talk 3, 4, 5 times a week. So
Odom
Anderson kind of
solid.
hurt my
Odom
feelings.
solid. I love my boy Odom, but I'm still giving him number 4 after. And I hope, and
I'm
like I said, I
gonna
hope
say
I'm wrong.
Evans gonna surprise some people this year, bro. I'm
All
gonna
right.
say Evans with the upset, so I'm gonna go with Lake Mary at 4. That's
Okay, so
crazy
then,
to y'all.
all right, well, that's fine. With who's number 3? I'm gonna go with Lake Mary. So who you going with? You going with a Popka Seminole? Go man, if you
Hey,
gonna go
boy,
all in, go all the
look
way
now.
in, baby. You gonna go all in,
Last
go all the
year,
way in, baby.
last year I went to the Evans versus Apopka game, and Evans was winning
Evans
at
should have won the game.
halftime. So,
Evans should have won the
it
game.
was
If we're
a
being honest.
couple plays here and there. Evans could have
Yeah.
won the game. Um, I'm gonna go with Evans at 3 though. I'm gonna still go with Evans at 3.
Wait a minute. I thought you was gonna shock the world. Hey, I thought you was. I
I
we
say
had the difference.
my shot the world pick is that Evans makes the playoffs this year.
All right, hey, y'all heard it. Hey, anybody want to bet him some wings? Call in. He got wings bets on everybody else. So if you feel that you want to bet him some wings on the Evans, hey, y'all go right ahead. Call. Hey,
Hey,
Texas, let us know.
you better tell them folk my record now when they start betting wings now. You better tell them
Yeah,
I don't owe nan man
yeah,
on the
no,
earth.
he don't know. Wait, man, I'm with you. Hey, man, I'm still waiting on a lot of wings, so I get
I
it.
don't owe
But hey,
nan man on
but
the earth
but
wings.
you got those Akoi people that was betting you last week. They must not be on. Hey, so anybody who don't feel Evans will make the playoffs, hey, put it in black and white. Go in and put it in the text section. All right. So who we got? Was
Who
that
you got
Barbara trying to
second?
was that Barbara trying to say she want? Was Barbara want a wing bet or something?
Nah,
Uh,
she
uh,
she focusing on
she
general, bro.
yeah,
She ain't worried
yeah,
about that.
she ain't worried about that. But anyway, I'm gonna go with Seminole.
Seminole?
Go with Seminole.
Okay.
Go with Seminole number
So
2.
you got a Popka win in that district.
I got a Popka win the district. I mean,
You know what?
to be honest, I'm gonna change my pick. Like that's a rough one. I really like I'm gonna go with a Popka only because defensively I know what I'm always gonna get with a Popka. They're gonna be smash mouth. They're gonna be hitting. They're gonna be banging. The problem is offensively, I don't know what I'm gonna get. But my frat brother is the offensive coordinator. Uh, he's bringing more of a spread offensive philosophy. Of course, I want to do well, but Seminole got all my dogs over there. On defense. I know that they good on defense too. Uh, offensively, I don't know what I'm gonna get from either team offensively. I'm just being honest. So that's the whole hang up for me. But if I had to bet anything on anything, I'm gonna bet APK all day. I mean,
Can they
because
tie? Is it a way that they could tie?
yeah, yeah, but they would
Will it
have
have
to
to be a
have
three? It have to be a
it'd have to
three-way
be
tie?
three. It'd have to be a three-way tie. Like so, if Lake Mary or Popka and some of all of them, they beat each other and it's a tie. But the tie goes to the the district goes to whoever's the highest ranked on Max Prep.
Oh, that's weak.
Yeah, that's how it goes. Like if it's any the tiebreaker is whatever the max prep is gonna be. But I would say I'm gonna go with Popka win the district and Seminole two with basically whoever wins that game is winning district to me. Basically, and
Okay.
it really is a toss up. I think matter of fact, where's the game gonna be at? That's probably the question I have.
Game gonna be in Seminole.
I'm gonna take Seminole then.
Let me make
Because
sure.
if the game, whoever got the home game on that game, that's what I'm taking. Because I
If
really
the
think
game
it's that.
comes-
I think it's that big. It's that big a toss up. So
All right.
I'm ahead.
So this is what I'm thinking,
I'm going
man. The
Seminole
last
Popcorn.
Okay, so you're going Seminole Popka. The last two times I picked Seminole, they were the quote unquote, they were the sexy pick. They had all the stars, they had all the guys,
Right.
and the Popka beat them both times. A Popka beat them in the playoffs.
Yeah, I
Um,
remember because you got that. Hey,
so I'm having like I'm having like what do you call that stuff? Post traumatic stress syndrome. I'm going with a Popka. I got a Popka winning the district. I got Seminole second. I mean, I love Seminole. I think they're gonna be good, but I just can't keep picking against a Popka and be wrong. So
Hey
I'm gonna
man,
pick
yeah,
the
you've been
Popka.
you've been wrong, man. I've been telling you a long time, but this might be the one time. This might be the one time that you've been right. Because my only thing is whoever's home. That's all. Like, and I have a rule. I'm telling you, if a Popka and Seminole meet in the playoffs, and the Seminole wins, whoever wins, the other one will win in the playoffs. Tell you that now. So that's just what it is. So, but I'm gonna go Seminole. I'm gonna go Seminole Popka. You can go a Popka Seminole. You got a Popka Seminole Evans. I got Seminole Popka Lake Mary, and then we have the bottom four the same. So all right, that's it. So let's see. Now we got one last area to
Last
cover.
district,
Yeah,
4M.
yeah, we'll see if the I don't know, man. I ain't seen too much from the Koi people, in the comment section, man. They must have just been ready for you last week, because they ain't here this week. So,
You worry
but
about it.
let's go. All right. So who the teams in the district?
Teams in this district, 4M District 5, we're looking at Dr. Phillips, Ocoee, Olympia, West Orange, and Windermere. Um,
We can start with number five. Who we got number
Start with
five?
number 5. I mean, this district is kind of crazy. It's very equal. Last year, but I'm gonna go with Windermere at number 5, bringing in the rear. Um, I just think those other teams are gonna be too much for them.
Yeah, whoever this Facebook user said, "What Lake Mary, my man? Who is that?" Because you just say Facebook user. Tell us your name so we can give you a shout out. Uh, but you know, uh, Coach Ricky Smith is doing a tremendous job over at Windermere. Facilities are great. Ricky's a really good guy. But I'm with you. I'm gonna go with him number 5. But I tell you what, Ricky got a lot of big offensive linemen that are like sophomores. I'm telling there, and Ricky's a running back coach originally, so it's gonna be interesting to see what they do next year. It really is. You know who it is. Oh, you know who that got to be. That got to, because they was talking about Lake Mary. You know that got to be Anthony Marshall. I tell you, had to
He
be.
owe me wings too.
Yeah, he one of the ones that Osa wings that you still ain't got. We talk about, man. We might. Hey, man. There's a rule, man. If you ain't got your wings within 3 months, it doubles every time. So he might owe you like 100 wings. Can I come and eat some when he do pay up?
Yeah, you got some of my wings, bro.
I appreciate you, man. That's good looking. But next up, man, we both agree on number 5. But people, remember what I tell you. If Ricky can keep those big boys home, he has a whole bunch of big old linemen. All right, so who we got next up? Let's eat, baby. He said it every week, man. Let's eat. Yeah, come on, man. He said it every week. Hey, man, what you got going on Friday, AJ?
uh, Friday I'm free. I think
Okay,
Friday I'm cool.
Anthony, I would pick AJ up and we would drive and meet you where there's some wings at. That's what we'll do on Friday. I'll make sure that way, everyone can eat. There's a Gators Dockside, because I want to talk to Gators Dockside about us doing the show anyway over there, AJ. So we're going to one at Altamont, see if they'll let us do something there. But yeah, so we'll hold on to that. But number 4, the teams we have left, we have Coe, Dr. Phillips, Olympia,
And West Orange.
West Orange. I'm gonna go West Orange at number 4.
Okay. I'm gonna go with
And the re-
Olympia.
and the reason why is because of you gonna go with Olympia at number 4.
No. I ain't say that.
Okay, I was I was like, boy, listen to this, AJ, listen to this. Now he in Alabama on Friday. Anyway, but no, I.
Hey,
I,
crazy.
I'm gonna say the reason being they it's a lot of changes with the coaching staff as well as you lost arguably the top quarterback in Central Florida, so but that's why I'm going with West Orange at number 4 in that district.
All right, I'm gonna
And
go.
you said Olympia.
Hell no, I said a Koi. I'm going to Koi.
Oh,
Um,
ooh, Corey, folks, where y'all at? Where y'all at? Hey, he doubling down on y'all. Where y'all
I'm
at?
going to Koi. I mean, when I look at it, Okoye did some stuff last year that's abnormal. You talk about winning the first game against a team that you got to play again or whatever, seeing them again. Okoye beat West Orange 2 times last year, right?
No, one time.
One
We
time or
lost
in
the
the
first. We
playoffs.
lost the first time.
Lost
You
the
remember?
first one.
Mhm.
So that goes to your point, excuse me, on the team when they have to see them again. Um, but I think that they lose the best quarterback in this area, Central Florida, Trevor Jackson going over to Jones. But they did get a solid fish fry. I know that thing gonna be busting
Hey,
up.
man, hey, bro, hey, man,
I
hey,
know that
man, if
thing
I,
gonna be
hey, man,
good.
you could, hey, man, you come pick me up, man. I might have to
Hey,
go get some of that
boy,
fish fry.
a
But
fish fry in Alabama, I can only
yeah,
imagine. Good
I
God.
got,
But
hey,
yeah,
AJ, I maybe should have told you something before. I'm gonna tell you something. We go get off the air. You might want to change that pick. I'm just, they got some that's brewing over there, but I got some inside information. But you might want to change that pick. But go
I
ahead.
just like I just like I mean, I just looked at the team last year, a solid team last year. They made a run in the playoffs. But hell, prove me wrong. I don't it don't make nothing to me. Like I don't got no it ain't nothing personal with me and Okoye.
Yeah,
I wish
you
all
just
the
feel
best.
that's just what you feel, which is
But it's
cool.
just what I feel. I mean, last year I look at it, what they go last year in the regular season?
6-4.
6-4. And I think that they're gonna be better when they lose 3,500 yards of offense, walked out the door. Like, I mean, nah. I mean, no offense to them, but West Orange, yeah, they lost Trevor. They get everybody else back. All five of them Power Five DBs, they all come back. Castile, he leaves and he's going to Florida, but the backup, he already got Power Five offers. So it's like I'm gonna go with West Orange at 3. So I'm gonna go with Okoye at 4.
All right, so you going with well then you said West Orange at 3, and I'm gonna go with a Koi at 3. I'm gonna go
So
with a
we
Koi
just
at
flip
3.
flop. We flip flop
I'm gonna
right
go with a
there.
Koi at 3. But with the inside information, if it go down, I have the right to reserve to move a Koi up. But I'm gonna definitely go with a Koi
Nah,
at
man,
3.
you got to take it now. You
You
use
got,
your
hey
inside
man,
information now.
yeah, yeah,
Use it now.
nah,
It's either
I'm
either you
still,
use it now, or you can't. You
no,
can't be
no,
you
we
can't
don't.
be wrong
Well,
again, right?
well, once again, like I said, I'm not picking to win the district, so it don't even matter. So I mean, I'm not picking to win it. So like, if we, but everyone would know that, of course, I'm gonna be a homer for Okoye anyway. So it's kind of like I'm gonna want them to win. I'm gonna want to do everything they're gonna do. I know that Coach Buck is gonna have a D line straight. I know that the defense, what it really boils down to is, offensively, what will they be able to produce? Is Jackson really going to be as good, or is he going to be a detriment to the team? Because running back wise, I think they're going to be okay. Matter of fact, I know they're going to be okay. They have a two nice, good high school running backs back there. But will they be able to complete passes? That's really what it boils down to. It's easy to, it's easy to throw passes on routes on air. Can you throw passes with somebody coming at you? And I know, Mike McClinton coming over, and they about to get a transfer. Like I tell my insider, if it go down, they about to get a transfer, a sophomore transfer DN that's 6'3", 250 that's coming from out of state. And if he come down there, their D line is gonna be very good. Somebody D line is gonna be a problem. Like they're gonna have a real nice like front four. And if that kid and McClinton stay together as sophomores with Buck as the coach, they're gonna be a problem. You know my rule. If you got a D line in high school, they can make up for a lot of mistakes on defense. You know, now Zeke wouldn't be able to get that double team. It's hard to handle Zeke one on one. Inside without a double team. That's one of his attributes. He eat up people. So if he has a linebacker behind him, just like we saw in the All Star game when we was at the Legends All Star game, Zeke was doing some work in there. That whole four all them boys was working. Uh, but next up, hey man, the reason I couldn't put him at three is I really think, man, and man, I'm just being honest. This is probably the most underrated team that we have in Central Florida, and I'm just telling you, I'm willing to put. I guarantee they'll probably make the playoffs this year. Is that dang Dr. Phillips? I mean, as much as I don't like, much as I don't like, Coach Rodney Wells, you know, which, by the way, I'm being facetious. I love the man, but I don't like him really because he always talk about LeBron, but that's another story.
Oh, here we
But
go.
uh,
Here we
but
go.
but defense, he's another one. I'm not worried about him defensively. And honestly, I think Stanley he can only get better. Stanley, I mean, he can't get worse. The only question I have is who they gonna throw it to. Because last year, what's my boy name? He's going to Tuskegee. He did a hell of a job. He was MVP of our game, wasn't he?
You talking
You know
about
what I'm talking about. I can't think of his
talking
name, and
about
I know his mama too. Uh,
Justin.
yeah, Justin. So I mean, if they get somebody to get him semi-production, they're gonna be okay. They really are. And I know defensively, like I don't think you're gonna find a defensive backfield is like. I know we're talking about West Orange, and they do have a good defensive backfield, but Jashard Pressey,
Oh
and
yeah.
Alfred Thomas. I mean, like those boys had the ability to take over a game. So, but they would be my number two. And I don't know, I mean, honestly, if depending on what their offense do, because remember last year they lost a lot of games, but they was losing them like
Those
6-0, 7-6,
yeah. You
So
like what?
yeah, man. So I don't know, man. I don't, I don't. Something's telling me, man. I'm telling you, I'm not just saying this. I think they're gonna be better than what a lot of people think. That's what I'm telling you.
Hey,
I think that they're gonna be
hey,
better than
I'm
what a lot of
with
people
you.
think.
We right there together. I got DP in that two hole in that district. I think DP will make the playoffs this year. Um I like you said, it'll be on the offense. And I talked to them at media day too. And I told the offense, hey, y'all gotta put up 21, 20, 24 points a game. Y'all put up 24 points a
I'm gonna tell you
game.
now.
We can
If they
get
offense
scared.
put up 24 points a game, I'm telling you right now, they're gonna surprise a lot of people in Central
They'll
Florida.
be 9
At
and
best,
1, 8 and
yeah,
2 by
right,
the time
right,
we like by
right.
the end of the
If
season.
that
Like
if
for
that
real.
if their offense average 24 points a game, they probably will win this district. That's just being honest. So we'll see what happens. So that means the number one team that we have in the district is the Olympia. I don't even. They're the Titans, correct? Yeah, they've been sorry for so long that I don't even know they
The
nickname.
mascot.
Right, right. But the only reason I'm saying that because my phone is literally being blown up by these Olympia cats.
As we speak.
Yeah, yeah. With smart comments about a real reporter would break the news. All this kind of stuff. But anyway, uh, Olympia, as those who don't know, they were returning probably a lot of talent anyway. They returned like 3-4 year starters, guys who've been playing for them, which is always a plus. We talk about that all the time. I'm a big proponent of any time that you can, if a young guy can play, I'm gonna play the young guy. Why? Because eventually he'll be the old guy, and my team will be better. Um, but when you look back on it, they also brought in quite a few kids that came from Lake Highland. They were one of the beneficials of Lake Highland breaking down. These are kids that were two-time state champions, and
So
these are kids
he
that
said
have
break it down.
yeah, no, they was breaking down. So uh, they brought a lot of kids over. Like I said, they had a lot of seniors on the team, and then they brought in a lot of seniors. So they uh, they had probably had about 20, 25, 26 seniors, bare minimum. They probably brought in eight seniors from Lake Highland. So that's 32 seniors. That's that's hard to bet against. I'm just telling you. And then on top of that, the guys that just before people lose their mind, the guys that that they brought in from Lake Highland was gonna go to Olympia anyway. Like the guys should have been to Olympia anyway. So it's not
Right.
like they bringing in guys, like they're supposed to zone for other schools. They literally was gonna go to Olympia. Like so, I know that one of the reasons that it didn't take uh it didn't take a Corey Long to jail was because Assad had went to school with all them boys. Keandre went to school with some of them boys that, as well. So it was easy for them boys to jail a little bit. And I think that's the same thing you'll see with Olympia. I think those boys will jail, depending on how good they do. Because the last couple of years, in Central, the last couple of years in the team who got the transfers won uh, the teams who got the transfers, they're the ones who won the district. Think about it. West Orange won the district. Well, went further in the playoff. Of Coy, went further in the playoff. So I'm expecting that same kind of run from Olympia. If they don't, and I've said it, honestly, if they don't, you know, at least get to the regional finals and get the state semifinals, it might be, not that good a year. And I hope that if they beat Dr. Phillips, I just hope they don't have to play him again. Because I just some about Rodney Wells this year, and for the record, for those who know, you can ask Rodney Wells this. Well, the year Rodney Wells won the state championship, he had like 13 kids transferred, leave him and go to Jones. We were talking, and I said, man, bruh, I got a feeling y'all gonna win state. He said, man, get out of here. You don't know what you're talking about, man. Da, da, da. And they won state. And I'm telling you, I got a feeling they're gonna do a lot better in this district than everybody thinks. I'm telling you.
No, I'm with you. If it wasn't for those kids coming
Oh
back
yeah,
home to
I'd have
Olympia,
chosen.
I
Yeah,
would have chosen Dr. Phillips to win this district.
me too.
With that being said, I'm gonna also go with Olympia. Um, if those kids would have never went to Lake Highland, they would have went to Olympia. Maybe the last 3 or 4 years for Olympia, that program could be totally different.
It would have
But
been. It would have been.
I'm gonna go with Olympia winning that district, 30 plus seniors, 31 seniors. Um, I think they have one of the better tandems on at cornerback in Central Florida. I think they have one of the better tandems at slot receiver. I think they have the best running back in Central Florida. I think they have a solid quarterback in Juan. And I mean, it really, like you said, I'm not gonna hold nothing back. Olympia, in my opinion, should be one of the better teams in the state. Definitely in Central Florida. But
Yeah, but
besides
but
Mainland, I can't. As far as talent wise, Mainland, I can't really think of any other teams immediately in Central Florida that have more talent right now, currently, um, like Olympia.
yeah, the biggest thing is, we all know that the weakest division to get to state in Florida is for Metro. It really is. Like as far as like they got to go play the teams from Tampa. They don't have to play a Popka and all them to get to state. Like they technically could meet a Popka in the state championship. So you know,
Yeah,
it's
good.
you know, it's a little easier for them. So I would expect them to at least get to the regional finals and hopefully win it. That's it, man. We done went through all the regions. I'm surprised the Koi people on there, but hey, I'm surprised nobody ain't take you up on the Evans bet. Because once we get off the line, hey, you can't try to make no chicken wing bet with the man.
I'm telling
So yeah, it's too late there. So you got anything else for the people? I don't have much else for them. Oh, we will be putting out the rankings. Do you want to do it tomorrow or Friday?
you. It don't matter. Whenever you want to hold them you want to hold them to the YouTube or give them a break.
Yeah, man. I say, man, hold the YouTube, man. We got to get how many
Oh no,
subscribers we
that's
got
for
on
the
YouTube?
players.
Matter of fact,
But the
let's don't even.
rankings, yeah, we could put.
Yeah.
We could drop the rankings tomorrow though. That's cool.
All right, so we'll drop the rankings tomorrow. So hey, once again, please go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. We want you guys to make sure that you go subscribe, like, submit, have your friends do it. Have 3, 4, 5 friends to like, subscribe. You get all that so that you can get this information when it comes out. We look forward to hopefully being able to provide you guys with games of the week, live streaming them. So this kind of goes a long way because to live stream at YouTube, we have to have a certain number of subscribers. So guys, we really need your help with that. So tell your kids, tell everybody, and maybe tomorrow we can give them our games of the week too. So that way,
Yeah, look at that.
that maybe that way, they'll be more apt to help sure we get all the subscribers that we need so that we can, go ahead and stream it on YouTube. So with that being said, man, that was it for me. I have nothing else to say. Uh, anything else? Anybody? If you got anything to say, now's the time. You got anything for the people, AJ?
Nah, man, we'll just drop those team rankings tomorrow, along with the proposed game of the week schedule. And let me
Look at
just say
change.
this right now: the game of the weeks are subject to change based off of teams. So like if we have this team in there and we thinking this team gonna go 8-2, but they just have a terrible season, and all of a sudden they headed down the 2-8 road, the game of the week might change. So just know that.
Hey, and know this. Let's make sure that we're clear. The game of the week can also change because if if somebody at Lake Mary want to sponsor the game of the week, and the game of the week we doing is a free game of the week, we going to the sponsor game of the week. I'm just telling you in advance. I mean, it just is what it is. So, uh, and like AJ said, a lot of things can change. So, we look
I
forward to,
mean, you would kind of have to, because somebody's showing you direct interest. So
correct,
we'll be a fool not to
correct,
look at that direct
correct. It
interest.
is what it is. So, hey, we look forward to working with you guys. Coco is not in 4S, by the way. Coco is in 2S. For
Two
the
S.
like, yeah, yeah. And
No, I
they
just
do it.
ignored it. I didn't even say nothing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just FYI, but
Okay.
they have a cakewalk, and as you would expect they would, because they're smaller classification. But what you don't expect in for Metro,
Forest
that's
is the big
like
largest.
literally whoever wins the district, they will play somebody else from the district, and whoever wins that probably will make it to state. Seriously. It's like it's that simple. Just that's the thing about four. Just like Wakava beat Osceola, then they turn around and beat Osceola again. But then that year they had to play Venice, which was a nice team. But Venice is now in for suburban, so it's there's no competition really out of Tampa coming for all. I mean, out of that area, Tampa doesn't have a four Metro team that's like that. All they juices and against Jones, and Jones and those guys have to play
3
those guys,
Yeah,
right?
Tampa. I think Tampa
Yeah,
Tech is at
yep,
3
yeah, they are 3M. So that's that. So all right, man. Well, hey, we'll see y'all tomorrow. Same bad time, same bad station. Let everybody know we'll be on, and this time we'll be releasing our top 10. It's going to be a lot of surprises, and we look forward to it. Well, we see y'all guys later. Peace.
Peace.